Good morning. Back to 444. Although I didn't do my sound check till just a couple of seconds ago. And so I don't know, it might have even gone to 445. I'm not even sure. Anyway, after I did my blurb today, which was after 4 o'clock when I came back from the meditation room, and I was meditating for probably an hour before going into the meditation room even. But anyway, I received an email from a new friend on Facebook that seemed to go along with what I had already written to some degree. The title that I had written down was "Because Humans Want to Know How." And I wrote this blurb: "Many of us are feeling the energies of change sweeping our planet. I am no exception. Day after day, I watch for indicators of the changes I know are necessary if our society on Earth is to be transformed. The energies are one thing, along with our hopes and visions for a better tomorrow for everyone. But it is manifestation that I and others look for in the world. The many channeled messages have provided hope to a lot of us. But I have to be honest, I get tired of hearing soon. I'd like to get beyond believing in change and actually start seeing it happen. How do you feel about this? How will the changes in leadership actually happen?" As I said, I wrote that blurb, and then, as I generally do, I go and I start checking my emails before it's time to actually start beginning the videos. Of course, if I don't have a title and a topic, sometimes I check the emails first looking for something, but that's not the way it happened today, and that's probably not the way it happens most of the time. But anyway, my new friend is actually from Switzerland, but he lives in Staten Island, New York. Sylvain, Sylvain. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he wrote, "Hello, Ron." And again, this is a new friend that I think he just made a friend request yesterday, or the day before, just very recently. And he wrote, "Yes, I am part of the awakening consciousness. In fact, or the fact that I found out about your YouTube channel isn't just a coincidence. I really want to believe something wonderful is going to happen on the 21st, but as always, I question everything, even what I deeply believe. I also follow a channel on YouTube called Killuminati, and I believe it's the best info you can find about ancient knowledge. I really trust the guy who makes those videos, as he is not very famous and promoted by the elite. I recently saw his comment saying that the spiritual awakening movement was the most dangerous deception ever. So I decided to ask him why and what his spirituality was. I'm really confused, but I know questioning is always a good thing. Let me know how you feel about it, please." Here is his answer. And this is from Killuminati, or at least that's what he calls his YouTube channel. And I will make comments on that when I finish reading his entire letter to my new friend. "Hi. Thank you very much for your kind words. To say we are all one consciousness is right and wrong. I really don't want to freak you out, but there is some type of integration program taking place. We're not alone. There are interdimensional entities, and most of them are evil and hostile toward us. They do not have our best interest at heart." Wait a minute. Forgive me. I think I didn't finish reading the first paragraph, and I jumped down to the second paragraph. of his letter. Let me go back to the first paragraph, and again, forgive me for having to do this. Thank you very much for your kind words. Yet, always, you should be careful who you trust. Always stay skeptic. He means skeptical, even with my videos. But I can guarantee you that I'm real and here to help other people. If I make a mistake along the way, it's unintentional. I will tell you straight up that I do not have all the answers. I'm not all-knowing, but I've spent a very long time trying to figure out what's really going on and to find truth in general. I could have written that paragraph. Although I wouldn't have said the word guarantee, because I'll guarantee you nothing. I know in my own heart, I believe I'm doing the best by people. But anyway, back to the second paragraph about all one consciousness. We're not alone. There are other entities, and most of them are evil and hostile toward us, and I do not have our best interest at heart. People like Bashar and J.Z. Knight, he says J.C., but it's J.Z. Knight. All these famous New Age channelers are deceiving people. The entities they channel are the fallen angels recorded throughout history in ancient texts, etc. Their channeled messages sound very loving and positive, but it's a deception. My spirituality is Jesus Christ. Surprise. But not in a Christian way. It's really complicated. The Bible scriptures have been manipulated and distorted, but Jesus Christ was real and not a myth. I will actually go on to present exactly that in future episodes and show people why I not only believe in Jesus Christ, but why he is the only truth on this planet. I will lay it out for you guys in a way that's never been done before. This has nothing to do with religion. In fact, even Christians have been deceived to some degree. I will lay it out with proper evidence and show people that the Bible is not made up. In fact, it's called scriptures for a reason. It's a script and will play out. Stuff has happened most people are not even aware of. Everything in the Bible is coming true because it's a script. However, most people do not understand the Bible and can't see through the deceptions. It's not always to be taken literally. It's really complicated, but if you keep watching my videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about and you'll get your mind blown. And I say that in the most humble way. I know now who's really running the show on this planet, and much more. The information I'm about to present you will hardly find anywhere else. The real truth is still very well hidden. I don't expect you to believe me, but I had demonic encounters in my own living room and demonic manifestations on my wall. Jesus was real and is the only way out of this hijacked reality we are imprisoned in. I know it might sound super weird to you, but just stay tuned and keep watching. I'll lay it out for you guys so everyone can grasp it. So yes, like I said, I believe in Jesus Christ. That's my spirituality, and I will show and explain to people why. Hope I could answer your questions. Take care, bro. Yeah, that's quite interesting. I don't resonate with Illuminati's answer at all, except for the first paragraph. First of all, he sees a world where evil is stronger than good. On that very basis alone, there's a deception. That's what keeps evil empowered, because people believe it's more powerful than the good. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to think that dark is more powerful than light, that bad is more powerful than good, that malevolence is more power than benevolence. It's insane to believe that. But we want to know how it's going to happen. I agree with him that Christianity and much religion contains deception and distortions. I totally agree. And like this person who wrote this, I too have spent my life studying these things, my life looking for answers, wanting to know why and how and what and when, and wanting all the questions, having all the questions that every one of you probably has too. What change can happen that we can really believe in? Obama didn't bring it. There are still people touting Obama. Well, maybe he will be the white hat. Maybe he will be the transformation of the Scrooge that I talked about yesterday. I do believe that's possible. How, though? How and when? Is it going to happen within 5 more days? So that by the 22nd of December, we're going to be living in a different consciousness? I'm sorry if that's what you believe. I'd like to believe that. I don't feel that that's what's going to happen. I don't feel it's going to be that abrupt a change. I'd like to see an abrupt change without cataclysm. With all of my heart, I'd like to see the leaders of this world that have been pulling the strings behind the curtain, the Illuminati. I'd like to see them exposed and brought to a place of justice. Exposed as in revealed, so that it's indisputable, so that nobody can any longer question what's real and what's not. Nobody can any longer question what's true and what's false, because it becomes obvious. Obvious. That's what I mean by manifestation. It becomes real in the physical world. I'm not one of these escapist people with the religion of escapism. I'm not going to go there. Because if that's the way it's going to play out, it's no answer. It's no answer to the big questions of life. It doesn't resolve anything, not anything at all. It leaves us confused, as the writer of the letter to me, and the other guy claims he's not confused. Well, in a world where everything is confusion, how can he not be confused? That's not being real. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that I have all the answers, because I know I don't. I know I don't. But I know he doesn't either. And I know nobody else does either. Because if anybody really had the answers, we'd all have them. And we don't. We don't. All we're doing is the best we can. And there are many of us. Both of these men might be very legitimate, very genuine in their spiritual path. But when we make evil stronger than good, when we make the devil stronger than God, and demons stronger than God, and fallen angels stronger than the angels that stayed true to God, there's something deceptive and distorted about that whole perception. And that's what's wrong with Christianity. Christianity doesn't look for Christ in people. They look for the devil in everyone. And so what do they get manifested to them? They get manifested to them everything that they claim not to want, and yet they're helping to create what they very much don't want, or they say they don't want it. It's ironic, because many of the things that Christians rail against are the very things that Christians get ensnared in. And anybody that's studied it for a long time knows that. Knows that. They rail against abortions, but not against killing. Killing is okay if it's Christians going and killing Muslims or infidels, and infidels have the same attitude toward Christians. Where'd that come from? Certainly not from God. But you say, Ron, aren't you saying that the evil is more powerful? I'm saying the deception is very powerful. But the deception is powerful because we believe evil is so powerful. We are being shown how powerful it can be, but it's an illusion. Now, as far as Bashar and JZ Knight go, and who they're channeling beings are, who it's not Bashar, that's the channeled entity. And J.Z. Knight, of course, is the channeler. And Ramtha is who she channels. Are these fallen angels? Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. I believe in a God that's bigger than any possible devil could possibly ever be. And I do believe Jesus Christ was the real thing. I do believe he was an historic personage. Whether Jesus was his name, that probably isn't true. It's probably Joshua or Yeshua or something like that. But the religions that have been built up around this are religions of separation. I do know this. We're not going to create heaven on earth if we continue to polarize over things. We have to come together. That's not a deception. We have to come to a place and find a place of unity. But how? How? How will it happen when those that have been running the show still have all the guns and all the weapons and all the apparent power? And they are becoming more and more obviously malevolent in their extreme wickedness, so that anybody that really looks at it can't miss it. But how will it happen? And when? I don't have the answer. I get frustrated sometimes even with God because God doesn't show me. And I could go back to poems that I wrote a few decades ago and having that same problem. I want to know, God. I want to know how. I want to know how it's going to work out in this world that I'm actually living the experience of. I want to know, how is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? We all are making that cry, aren't we? Or at least most of us. Some of us don't want the change, and others want everything to change. Anyway, for me, this is interesting. Interesting that I got that email from my new friend, and that it seemed to tie in so much with what I had already started prior to reading it. But thank you for listening. I'm not going to take any more of your time till tomorrow. I bless you. Namaste.